My colleague Athi Mtongana, who's about to get into conversation with the program director for that memorial service, Mr. Mondli Gungubele. And earlier on, Athi, the president saying many wondered why we are having a memorial on a state level for de Klerk, and we said we would have it because he played a crucial role in our country. Frederick Willem de Klerk was born on the African soil, and it is to the African soil that he's now returned. Athi?
Indeed, Dudu, without wasting any time, let me bring in then the program director, the minister and the presidency. Thank you so much for your time. Some of the things that the president shared in his eulogy was the fact that it was actually important then for the state to conduct and have the state memorial at the back of many people questioning why the state, even to begin with, would host such an event.
I think the president, who is a creature of the current statutes of our constitution, that obligates him to advocate the purpose of our constitution, which is a constitution of unity, inclusivity, humanity, could not have given a different message other than the one he gave today. The president was very clear that a lot of South Africans contributed to this current democratic situation in which we are, which allow all South Africans to express their views, to protest, to be treated across color, irrespective of their ethnicity. He actually emphasized the role Mr. de Klerk played and actually made it very clear not to acknowledge that, if I use my own words, would be the gross injustices, would be misleading our children. The point here that we're making is that those who join us in pursuit of the cause of justice cannot be our enemies. We can differ on how to walk a common road of an inclusive constitution. That's the message that came from the president. However, the president was very clear. It will be dangerous to forget the pain that apartheid caused to our people, the denigration it did, the humiliation it did. But we remember those issues not to be the prisoners of that memory, but to conduct ourselves as the champion of an inclusive, a democratic and a prosperous future.
Some of the activities that took place outside the Groote Church involves some of those families who are victims to the atrocities that were laid under the former deputy president, the last apartheid president. They were basically protesting against this memorial and the legacy then that he has left. Also tying that up with what the president said about not forgetting these atrocities that were conducted under the leadership of de Klerk.
You see, it depends on how you look at it. Those families, this event has actually reminded them of their pain, of their suffering, which we say they mustn't forget. But the president is calling upon them to say, we are honoring this man because together with us and all other South Africans, we together with him, through his announcements, have agreed on a path that allows them to speak openly about their pain and to demand the right to be redressed. All that environment has been created, amongst others, through his pronouncements in February 1990. We cannot ask them not to forget that pain. It will be gross injustice also, but the biggest challenge we have, when they protest, they remind us, how far are we in terms of the constitutional obligations in addressing their pain?
Speaking about addressing their pain, lastly, as I let you go, Minister, what can the presidency then talk to us or tell us about perhaps the prosecutions and the answers that many of these families, like the Craddock family and the Northcrest Massacre family, have been waiting for? What then can you say at the back of all those people who've been waiting on those answers and are saying that there is a slow pace in as far as prosecutions and investigations are concerned?
Not long ago, I think it's hardly 2 or 3 weeks, the Minister of Justice, Athi, announced a team which is going to deal with those extrajudicial iniquities. We expect them to start doing their work. We acknowledge that We could have done earlier those things, but again, there's a word that says it's never late for a man to mend. Pronouncements to that have been made by the Minister of Justice, but he is there to articulate the details. There is already a demonstrable and a practical response to that. We are not comfortable that we took so long to do that, but at least something is being done now.
Allow me to quickly digress, Minister, while I have you. We understand that the President received the final report of the SIU in as far as the investigations that were conducted by the SIU on PPE corruption. Talk to us about what then he will do following this, because even Parliament Standing Committee on Public Accounts urged the President to take action and not just look at the report without making sure that the law takes its course in as far as taking those who are responsible or implicated in those reports to the law.
Not long ago, a few days ago, in terms of executing or implementing the finding of SIU, we spoke of the 62 billion value of cases that are in court as we speak, 4.3 billion of pensions that are that have been frozen, 6.9 billion. I can list a number of all those things that have been submitted, others forwarded to tribunal, just to demonstrate that we're acting. Can we do better? There's always a great room for improvement. We are awaiting the President to look at the final report, and we take the directives from the Commander-in-Chief immediately he has done his work.
Thank you so much for your time. The Program Director, the Minister in the Presidency, talking to us about some of the statements that were made by President Cyril Ramaphosa in delivering the eulogy at today's State Memorial for South Africa's last apartheid president and former Deputy President FW de Klerk, and also touching, of course, on that issue related to the investigations that have been conducted by the SIU in relation to the proclamation that he made, then mandating the SIU to investigate corruption linked to PPE in South Africa. He says the President has, of course, received that final report on Friday. He will look at it, and he's also urged then by Parliament to ensure that he does not just receive the report, goes through it, but he should also make sure that those who are implicated, that action is taken against them. Now, people who attended the memorial are leaving in bits and pieces. I just want my colleague to show you some of the people that are remaining here in Groote Church. These are the people who came to attend the state memorial. I can see on the other side members of the Democratic Alliance, MPs from the National Assembly on behalf of the DA. They also came through. We also saw the Minister in the Public Works Department, Patricia de Lille, and also we spotted the former Public Protector, Thuli Madonsela, also making their way here to attend this state memorial.